I'm Kyle Rode, and this is the Rebel HR Podcast. Rebel HR is a podcast for HR professionals who are ready to make some disruption in the world of work. Follow us online on Facebook at Rebel HR Podcast, rebelhumanresources.com, or follow me on Twitter at Rebel HR Guy. On today's Rebel HR Quick Tip, we're going to be talking about some of HR people's favorite things, rules. HR gets a bad rap for being the policy police, and sometimes rightfully so. Why do we love rules so much? Does it make us feel safe at night? Does it make us feel like we're actually doing something? Some rules are just plain stupid. Let's talk about some stupid rules. In Colorado, for instance, you are not allowed to catapult anything. You are allowed to own a catapult, but you better not try to discharge it. Also, flaming arrows are illegal. In Connecticut, pickles must bounce by rule of law. You cannot sell a pickle unless it bounces. Connecticut's Food and Drug Commissioner proclaims that a real pickle, quote, should bounce when dropped from the height of 1 foot, which is state law. Part of the joy of human resources is dealing with situations where somebody thinks that a rule should be put into place. Whether that's a rule related to attendance, a rule related to cell phone, or a rule related to a pickle. My guidance here is that rules are important, sometimes. But we should actively search out stupid rules, and we should make every effort to get rid of them at all costs. So one of my favorite tactics when somebody comes to me and says, we have to have a policy for this, we need a rule for that. If I don't have a clear-cut policy with 17 different steps and a flow chart that describes exactly what we're doing in every scenario within the situation, my favorite response is, I would be happy to look into creating a policy for you. But what policy are we going to get rid of? Because I'm not adding any more policies into our handbook. The handbook in itself can be a relatively archaic and complex thing. How many people actually take the time during orientation to allow people to read through an entire handbook, fully understand, and then sign that acknowledgement form at the end of it? It just doesn't happen. And if it does happen, that sounds like a terrible orientation experience. The goal should not be to make more rules or apply more bureaucracy to systems. Human resources should be focused on building culture and building systems and structures that build trust and allow people to understand that they should not be setting off catapults at work. And, as we all know, they should be able to drop a pickle from a 1 foot height and have it bounce. Almost as silly as the 6th iteration of the attendance policy that still didn't work. Thanks, Rebels. Have a great day. Follow us on Facebook at Rebel HR Podcast, Twitter at Rebel HR Guy, or see our website at rebelhumanresources.com. Views and opinions expressed by Rebel HR Podcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any of the organizations that we represent.
Baby.